Hello, everybody. It's Boxing Bros UK. Here's Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew, the Boxing Brain. And today's topic is obviously Bing Bing. Oh, no, it's here, yeah. Bing Bing. Wardley versus Clarke. Wow. Fight review. Well,
where to begin? Where to begin?
Nobody expected that.
Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So that is what you call, ladies and gentlemen, and if you're a casual boxing fan, when people say it's round 13, that's what they mean. You're starting. It's not the first round of a fight. You're starting from round 13 from the last fight, swinging it out like maniacs. But you've had some health, like you're on a computer game. You've had a recharge. You've had a medipack. But I thought Frazier Clarke, like, I'm going to give him his props here. He looks in the best shape I've seen him since he turned pro. He looks solid. He was. Do you know he was heavier than he's ever been, and he looked slimmer and better than he's ever looked.
Muscle mass as opposed to flabber, right?
Flab, yeah. And it was just perfect. And it was getting the better. He was winning the jabs and the jabbers for a minute or however long it was going. And then I think he switched off for a minute, and he got caught with a shot, and he went into survival mode, and like, as Fabio, like, I think he hit him and he hurt him, and then Clarke hit him back with an uppercut, and then he got his hands tangled in the ring ropes. Them fucking ring ropes. Were they fighting? They threw two boxers out the ring, and they tied one boxer's arm up. But it's a cardinal mistake, yeah. And like, I can't believe Frazier Clarke made it where, like, you're holding onto the rope with one arm trying to fight, and he got his hand tangled in it. And Fabio Wardley seen it, and he went all fucking Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z Budokai and just fucking ran at him and planted one good shot, bang there, another one, and it was like, wow, what a knockout. But then when the camera zoomed into his face, it was scary. It looked like it was a stroke victim. It was really bad. Like, his jaw was like in the front row while he was sat in the corner. Like, it was so bad. And he had a big, massive indent in his head. And our thoughts go out to, obviously,
his cheekbone, Chris, caved in.
Yeah. Frazier Clarke, go out to him. I hope he gets better soon, because that was really, really, really bad. And he's got a broken jaw and a fractured cheekbone. He's having surgery now.
Apparently, it's not as bad as what maybe it looks. I read somewhere, sort of 6-7 weeks he'll be back out. But the thing about it is that, and I mean, I know you played rugby. I played rugby for a little bit, in my younger days, for Tunbridge and a few other bits. And I dislocated my jaw on that side, and it's still not right now. I took a high tackle and fucking, and to break it, fractured it. I mean, God knows what that must have been like, but it was pretty nice. I dislocated, but it's just not a nice thing to happen.
And it's just like, wow. Yeah. And the thing is, Frazier looks good. At the start, he just switched off for a moment, made a mistake. Yeah. But my only problem with Frazier is, like, I think, I was gonna have to say it. I think he's too nice to be a fighter. Like, he's a really, really. I know he used to be a doorman and he used to go and get up to shit, but he's a really, really nice fellow. And for considering he's this great amateur pedigree, yeah. Last fight, what did he do? He crossed his legs going backwards. Everyone knows, you don't cross your legs when you're going backwards, Because if you do and they see it, you can get knocked over by a jab. And Frazier, and that's what happened to him last fight. This fight, he made another rookie mistake where he's holding on to the fucking rope, the ring ropes. Instead, you always lean on it with your back or your thingy. You don't put your arm on it because you can get your arm tangled in it, and you've only got one arm to defend yourself. And because in boxing, there's any little weakness, any little mistake, is protect yourself at all times. You will get punished for it in the program, especially when you're fighting a savage. And I just think, like, he's 35. He's had a chance at a pro career, and I just don't think he's ever going to be good enough to be beyond British level. If he wants to be like Dave Allen and say, "Oh, I'll fight for the British title," I'm happy to do that then. But if he wants to be a world champion and make splashes in the heavyweight division, I'm sorry to say, I don't think he should. Especially he's had his jaw broke. He's going to be out for a year at least. He's not going to be fighting for at least a year. So he's going to be 36, and he hasn't even won 36. You haven't even won a British title. You've only fought 12 rounds once. And the second time you were supposed to fight a 12 rounder, you got knocked out in a round because you made a rookie mistake when you're supposed to be this great amateur. So I just think, like, he's okay, but he's just not as good as he thinks. And it's like, it's a shame when your dreams have to be crushed. But he's got a family, he's got kids, he's made a bit of money. If I was him, I would retire, because how can you have all that amateur experience and the two most important fights of your life, that's what fucked you up, is making amateur mistakes that you shouldn't be making. So obviously, and he hasn't got he hasn't got knockout power like Wilder that can get him out of jail when he fucks up. So he's that's my thoughts for Frazier anyway. What do you think he should do next?
Yeah, it was a real. I thought it was because he obviously got caught in the first fight as well, but managed and Wardley maybe didn't step on him, and we spoke.
No, he got saved by the bell. He got saved by the bell. He got knocked down, and he got saved by the bell. And Wardley said, "That's the only reason why I didn't knock you out, because Fabio Wardley is an excellent finisher. When he's got time, there's not one opponent that he hasn't finished off. He's a good finisher."
And he maybe, and he was able to make the adjustments and actually started to come on quite well, apart from the 12th round, from what I remember in the first fight. Yeah, he looked. I agree with you. I mean, I think he's 33 now, isn't he? He's around that age. So he was unfortunate because at the Olympics, I think in 2016, Joe Joyce got picked ahead of him, and then or Anthony Joshua or someone, but he missed out on 2 Olympic cycles. So there was
First it was AJ got picked, and then after AJ, when it was the next, then it was Joe Joyce. But he should have turned pro. But obviously he wanted to win gold at the Olympics, if that was his dream. But if it was my life, I'd say, right, fuck the Olympics. I'm not waiting 4 years. I may as well just turn pro now then. Because he waited all that time to go to the Olympics, and he didn't even win. And if I wasn't even good enough to get on the team, then maybe it's not for me. You know what I mean? But it's not my life. It's not my life. So, but I think that's the wrong decision.
There was only his kind of 9th or 10th fight as well in the pro game, and look, like, he did okay in the first fight. But to me, he looked a little bit like he started slow to me, and it was a combination for me in that first round of Fabio Wardley was coming in with absolute bad intentions. I think he'd really reflected on that first fight, and I said this, I think, in our previews, that he obviously knows he can hurt him. So, which is always going to give you confidence going into a rematch. I'm not necessarily sure that was the case on Fraser Clarke's side of it, where he felt like he could maybe hurt Fabio Wardley. I don't know. So I think he come in with that confidence, and he realised he'd made mistakes, and he don't want to be having wars like that, throughout his career. No. You want to be having wars like that when you're in world title fights and in really,
when it's worth it.
So Wardley's come out absolutely firing, letting his hands go, which could have been countered from an opponent, which could have, he could have been caught himself. And I think Fraser Clarke was just a little bit slow, a little bit sloppy. Got caught, obviously, what you described all happened. and then he sort of turned around against the ropes as well. Then he turned away, and I don't know if he was maybe looking for the ref to intervene or what. Then he kind of turns round, sort of brings his left hand up. You like I said, he throws an uppercut or he tries to counter with a left hook. Wardley, I think, was just in a mode of whatever you're bringing.
Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z shit. What he was on.
Dragon Ball Z, so he's coming anyway, and he's thought, yeah, what? All right, and then I think he's coming with a left hook. Caught Fraser Clarke again, who was already a bit buzzed, so he's kind of gone that way. Caught him with a right hand that's thrown him against the ropes, and I'm thinking, I remember I was on my feet, I was like, fuck, what? And then you could see like he's gone, and he's just there like a sitting duck, and bang! It's sort of like it was like an overhand right sort of hook, absolutely flush on the temple, on the side of the jaw. Now, for anyone who's watching this who maybe doesn't quite, you got a 17-stone guy plus who's a puncher, and Fabio Wardley can fucking punch, by the way. He can really punch. If a guy like that is catching you clean, I don't care how big you are, 270 pounds, Fraser Clarke. He's a big man, 6'6", 270 pounds. Yeah. Flushed on the side of and caved in the side of his skull. You get caught like that, not able to defend yourself, completely gone. Unfortunately, those are the types of injuries and incidents that can happen, Chris. And it was actually quite hard to watch because Fraser Clarke it looked like, I don't know, there was nerve damage or I hope it doesn't come out. We haven't heard anything, I don't think, but I hope there's no kind of long-term brain injury there because for a minute there I thought that he was fucking paralyzed or something. It was quite bad.
I think he will be all right. I'd just like quick shout out. So because you know that indent where he's fractured his cheek, yeah?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, it happens in boxing. Just because you have an indent in your face and you have cheeks fractured, it doesn't mean that there's egg weights in the gloves.
You just couldn't catch it.
Because that's what Fury did to Wilder, I think, in the second fight. And then Wilder was like, because the indent goes in, loads of fighters get it, and you fracture your cheekbone, like it sucks right in to your bone, to your face. It's a common injury. Yeah. I think maybe Wilder had a boiled egg and thought, that fits inside the hole. He must have had a metal egg weight in his glove or something.
Yeah, excuses. But his jaw was like right around there as well when it completely locked on the other side. And
as soon as he slumped down, and the camera zoomed in, I thought he's fucking dead. Like his eyes were white, his fucking jaw was in the front row, and then he turned around and he's got a big fucking hole in his cheek. It was like, whoa! Fabio Wardley is not fucking around.
It wasn't just the jaw thing though. Like he looked mesmerized. It was like he thought, oh God, something's wrong here. Like I don't know. He looked like completely shut down, which I can imagine you would do. And did you see when he'd gone down and he took that shot, I think he thought he was going to get hit again. He then went to guard his face again, like, bless him, bless his cotton top. Thought he was going to get bulldozed again on the floor. Oh, God.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Fraser Clarke, obviously, I don't take, sensitivity or kindness for weakness, not at all. But, he's a very emotional, nice guy, I just don't think especially, and sometimes, especially when you're older, when you're an older fighter, you need to be utterly ruthless and mean. And you need to like Fabio Wardley, protect yourself at all times. I think he got hurt with that first shot, didn't really know where he was. And I'm sorry, but the rules in boxing are protect yourself at all times. And that's just it. But that's why we love it. It's barbaric and we love it in the moment, but then afterwards we're all happy for his best wishes for his family. And for me, I would love it if he retired because I think he's a really nice guy. and I don't think that he should fight anymore.
Yeah,
Especially, don't risk it. And that thing's going to heal, that fractured cheekbone over time. It's just going to hurt a lot. But a broken jaw, you don't want to do that. You don't want to carry on fighting with a broken jaw, like when it's just been broke. He's going to be out for a year. Then he's going to have a tune-up because he's going to have been out for a year. So by the time he gets in a decent fight again, he's going to be like 37, 38. Look at Joe Joyce, same route as Frazier Clarke. Started late, was great, was knocking out all these guys who are journeymen or they used to be good and they're just a little bit past it. And then using his chin as defense obviously made it worse for Joe Joyce. But Father Time waits for no man, like you always say. And yeah, you've been in the amateurs, but your body's not strength and condition for the pros. And I just don't think it's worth it. Unless if he's getting paid a lot of money and he wants to be a journeyman and test these young bucks coming up and be like Derek Chisora and say, listen, I'm fucking fighting. I don't give a shit if I lose 10 times. So I fucking love this shit. If you want it, and it's my job, and I'm getting paid. If he wants to do that, fair enough. But if he's thinking that he's going to fight for world titles or anything, and that's his dream, he isn't going to do it. So I cut your losses and spend time with your family.
I'm going to call it now, just from this. I could be completely wrong. Completely wrong. From what I saw and looking at his body language, psychologically, I would not be surprised, Chris, if we never see him in a ring again. Honestly, I think that was a devastating knockout. He might never be the same after that. You know, Don't be surprised. It was bad. That was bad.
It's brutal.
It's like a footballer. When a footballer breaks his leg, he's sometimes never the same player because he's backing out of tackles, backing out of challenges in it. Half of your game has already gone because psychologically you're worried about a similar injury happening again. So what I'm saying is, it wouldn't surprise me if even if he does try and fight again, he's never quite the same again. So
it's not going to be. So, what's next for Fabio Wardley?
Well, Fabio Wardley is in the mix now. He's in the, I can't remember with which sanctioning bodies. I had a brief look, but he's in the top 10 with at least a couple of them, right? He's in and around. I quite like some of the names I quite like for him because I think he's in and around that level. I like fights next for him, such as a Joseph Parker, Cabiel. I think those type of guys, even maybe a Mac Madoff, you know, which I think he'd put him in. But I think someone, you know, FA Jagbar. I don't think a Jagbar would take that fight.
Yeah, do you know what? That's what I had written down.
In the top 15, you know, Frank Sanchez.
I've got Frank Sanchez written down as well. That's what I mean. I think Joseph Parker.
He's not ready for the top guys yet. I think
he's not ready for a Parker. He's not ready for a Bacoli. If I was him, I wouldn't risk fighting in a Tuma.
Michael Hunter.
Yeah, Michael Hunter. That would be a good fight. But I wouldn't. Yeah, Michael Hunter. That would be a great fight. But I wouldn't fight because Andy Lee said fight Moses Atuma. I say do not fight Moses Atuma because he might win, but he probably won't. It's not worth the risk. Like, you've just worked so hard. He's British champion. Oh, and congratulations to Fabio Wardley. He's defended the Lonsdale belt 3 times, so he's won it outright. Well done.
Yeah, lovely. Well done.
Well done. Well done, son. Well done. He's got that Lonsdale belt outright.
We focused on Frazier Clarke a bit, the defeat, but I'll tell you what, Wardley, cold, clinical, no nonsense, not wanting any overtime whatsoever. Bang, bang, bang. Thank you very much. Knockout, I'm out of here.
And do you know the best thing as well that he did? Yeah? This is why I don't know why everyone's slagging Ben Davison off, yeah? And I hate this, not just Ben Davison. If the fighter doesn't listen to his coach, it's on the fighter's fault. And if the fighter doesn't listen to his coach and then you don't respect your coach, and you can't listen, then get a new coach if you're not listening to like. It's not the coach's fault. Because look, Ben Davison, he's obviously worked on Fabio. Fabio Wardley didn't listen to him in the first fight. This time he did. He wasn't smothering his work, was he? When he had him hurt, he wasn't rushing in going like a maniac. He was taking a step back and making sure he wasn't smothering his work. He made that little adjustment of instead of panicking and trying to knock him out like a maniac, he took his time, and he still knocked him out in the first round badly. You know, like so he really made that. It was really really good. But I think next for Fabio Wardley, I don't think he's ready for a Parker or a McCauley. But I do think if you think about the landscape, he's got a chance, of becoming a world champion because Usyk's going to retire, Fury's going to retire. They're coming to AJ's going to retire. Yeah. Once this three-headed monster goes, who have you got left? You've got Dubois and and he's not ready for Ajit Caballero yet either. Ajit Caballero and Bacoli are fighting each other. But I think he needs, like you say, FAA Jagber, that'll be a great fight. Michael Hunter, like you said. Do you know what I would like to see him fight though? Hooney.
Justice Hooney, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Hooney's 10-0. He's an up-and-coming Australian prospect. He's Australian champion, and he's got some Mickey Mouse WBC, WBO international fucking belt shit. That's not worth anything. One of them alphabet belts. But like Australian champion versus British champion, maybe, and get himself an experience, maybe being the enemy, going and fighting in someone's backyard and beating them. And I think he could. Like Hooney's good, he's all right, but like Australia's boxing program, it's not all that great. Like most of their boxers, they're not the best. I think like the best guy they've got right now is Cambosos. Like the New Zealanders, the Samoans, like obviously they've got like, but so I just think that maybe a big show in Australia because they do love their boxing and they do show out. They pack out the arenas. The last show we did there, I'd like to see him fighting Justice Hooney, FA Jagber, or what do you reckon to this fight? Because this will get him right up in the rankings and get him a mandatory. And I think that he can do it. Easy. Zhang.
Oh, yeah, Zhili Zhang. If Zhang wants that fight, I mean, that would be, that'd be an exciting fight, that's for sure.
And I think he could easily, because Zhang's big and slow, and he times you. But where Wardley is unorthodox, because he's a white-collar fighter, obviously, and he's very athletic, I think he'll smoke Zhang and he'll knock him out. In the same way that Parker fought Zhang, or he'll take more risks and go in for the kill more.
But he's unpredictable, Wardley. That's the thing. Because of his background, he sometimes just comes in with like lead hooks, comes in with right hand, doesn't always set things up behind the jab, and he does things in an unconventional way. But that's the unlicensed background, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just think, that if they can persuade Zhang to take that fight, Zhang's number 4 in Ring Magazine rankings, so I'm guessing he's quite high up in the sanctioning bodies. Obviously, that'll stand him in good stead. See when the dust settles with Caballero and what's his face, Bacoli, and then wait for Fury and Thingy to retire. And he could be well in the way for getting himself a mandatory shot at one of the belts. Like if he beats Zhang. And if not, big money fight in Australia, something fight Justice Hooney, or there was another name I had. But if I was him, I wouldn't take it. Jared Anderson. You don't want that smoke with Wardley, but it'd be a good fight. I'd love to see it.
He's already made that mistake with Bacoli.
He's never going to fight. He's never going to fight anyone based out of England again.
No.
Smoked.
I'd like to see it, but I can't see it happening. But you never know.
Yeah, Anderson needs to rebuild, and obviously, So, that's it really. So, Boxing Bros UK, like and subscribe, guys. If you like the video, if you disagree with anything we've said or whatever, or anything, or you agree with us. We'd love to hear your comments. Leave some comments in the comment section, please, guys. We out.